All right, well, new year, back at it, and we're ready to go ahead and attack this motor. So far you've seen fixing some of the wire, test fitting the engine and trans with all that. Still got a little bit more to do there, but stepping away from that to start getting into this, and hopefully we can get this knocked out fairly quick. The hardest part being what we're gonna do today is get that crank out and hopefully try to change our crank trigger. So wish me luck. That's a party now. All right, crank's out. Everything's looking pretty good. I got everything lined up. In order to go back in, new crank trigger's chilling there. Dug out my ARP hardware to get that ready. And here's the crank. So what we got to do, already kind of marked right there. I found the old article on changing these things. Some tedious work, but we'll get it. And then once I slap that thing on there, let it cool down, I'll drop the crank right back in there. Yeah, we'll drop the crank right back in there. Actually, I might finish cleaning this off a little bit. Smooth it out a little bit for that double roller. Everything else should be good to roll. Because it was running a double roller before, but I know there's some things were still hitting a little bit even after I clearance. So if we can clean that up, that'd be cool. Like I said, slap that crank right back in there. And you know, we'll start with the main studs. Got our grease here. But yeah, got everything there. Washers and nuts. Oh, cool, it does come with instructions. Sweet. Yeah, so we'll be able to put those right in the block. And then we even have the nuts for the windage tray. But we'll go ahead and wait till we have the crank in there so we don't scuff nothing up there. I'll have to go ahead and take this and open those guys up to, I believe it says 7/16 holes. And then we'll work on our rod bolts. So, sitting around a while. Finally using them though, so all good in the hood. All right, so got my punches in and what I need to do this. So I end up bolting the flywheel to the crank here. To give me some kind of a base to work with. So the instructions are to find where it says forward. Okay, so it says forward there, and then look for the timing mark right there. And a couple of the landmarks are the fact that fat, and then it goes to skinny here. It goes with that. I don't know how well it's gonna look on here, but you get the idea. So then it says to go ahead and make your punch mark right above it, which I did, so it's marked on the crank itself. And so now we're gonna go ahead and use a hammer to punch and get the old crank trigger off. Now the goal is, where are we at here? Okay, so there's the dimple. the 2 marks, and that's where it's gonna go with that punch hole that we made. So gotta make sure that's up and finesse it on there just so we can practice like it says to. It's a little tricky. And then in theory, it'll end up right there. And as you can see, it's not all the way on, and obviously this is just a press-on thing. So I don't want to just beat it on there. So what we're gonna do, it says to go ahead and preheat the oven for 325 degrees and place the wheel in the oven for 30 minutes. So we'll get the oven going, throw that in for a half hour, and with some maneuvering, we should be able to get that on there. Let it cool, and we should be in good shape. Alright, so then now we take measuring here and see what we got. So as long as it's bigger than the 002, I'll be happy with it. So I'm gonna keep going here off camera, but that's literally all you do to plastic gauge. Take a little piece, put it in there, torque down, and then you just measure it. Like I said, I'll do these other two and then phone a friend to see what we think here. All right, guys, we're going to cut this one a little short. I was going to plan on starting the rebuild on this. However, weather's telling me different. As you can see, I'm bundled up in the garage. Yeah, it's just been so cold. I probably sound a little different, you know, sickness going around, all that fun stuff. So, been just kind of hanging back until hopefully we get some better weather here soon. But I'll show you guys real quick. Did decide to go ahead. We are going to do main bearings. Obviously cam bearings too. So I went ahead and ordered both at the same time. They're here ready to go. The rod bearings are good. All that looks good. So we're just gonna go ahead and roll with those. But here's everything that we should need to put this back together, barring a couple maybe small things that I may have overlooked. Nice new main bearings. And then we got our cam bearings. Standard gasket set, no big deal there. Gonna be sending some parts off for powder coat. We're gonna add some more purple finally. Got a couple of things I need to get black. Got my nice table over here set up, ready to go. I do need to replace one head, this one. So I'll have to pull the springs and trade them over. This guy I gotta modify. This is your coolant bypass. We're gonna modify that to where we're gonna put a rubber hose on somewhere up here and just get rid of the rest. Goals right now, we're midway through January. So my projected of having the motor done and put together by the end of January should be no big deal. Now that I have everything here, that's a day or so of work depending on when I get out here and get to it. Then I'm gonna go ahead and say that I want the engine and transmission together and in the car by the end of February. Maybe not quite running because there's some other things I'm gonna have to buy once we get to that point. Some more things that need replaced and addressed. And we're just gonna go ahead and take care of anything I come up with while we're here. Then I'm gonna say midway through March, I wanna hear it start, run some heat cycles through it. One of the big things is with the ARP head studs, gonna have to run a couple heat cycles and then, you know, tear off valve covers and stuff to get back in there and do a retorque on those. And that should really put us on track for the first event, which is April 13th, I believe, here locally. So I won't have to travel far, you know, to do some break-in. Yeah, figure it, wrap this up so I can put this video out there, show you guys where we're at so far, let you know what's going on. Hopefully everyone watching is staying warm too. Hopefully maybe you're not even in a part that's getting hit with this cold. But I know I've been seeing things even down in Texas being really cold, so hopefully you'll stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.